Now, live from KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Midday.
No doubt travel is going to start getting tricky out there, and that's where we bring in meteorologist Scott Larson. He's standing by live in downtown Sioux City. Scott, what do we need to know before even thinking about braving those roads?
Well, Matt and Jessica, it's currently quiet here in downtown Sioux City, but that's going to be a whole different story this afternoon once that snow starts to push in. And crews started getting ready yesterday for the storm, and there's a few ways that you yourself can stay one step ahead of the storm as well. The shoveling, the snow blowing, and even the snow plows. None of those are needed right now, but that's going to change very soon. And that's why the city of Sioux City has been getting its fleet of 60 snow removal vehicles ready for action.
Right now we have staff getting all of the truck plows, spreaders, and chains mounted on all the equipment so that we're ready to go as soon as the snow starts flying.
But the city shouldn't be the only one getting prepared. There's a few things you can do as well. The first, download our Channel 9 Eyewitness News app so you can have the latest weather information right on your phone. Another great resource is the Iowa Department of Transportation. From there, you can get a look at the road conditions and even live images of the roads you're driving on.
If you have the availability of web use or computer use, you're able to basically see everything that we're able to see.
Social media is also a great way to stay up to date. The Iowa DOT will be using Twitter to send out the latest road conditions, and it even wants to know what you're seeing. Just send out a tweet using the hashtag IowaDOT.
Via our Twitter feed, we ask that you do it while you're not operating the vehicle, but you give us an idea of what you're seeing out on the roadway.
But as always, the best advice is to stay home and off the roads if you can. Be traveling out on those snowy roads, there's a few things to keep in mind. Make sure to give the car in front of you plenty of space as you're driving, and also make sure that your vehicle's headlights, taillights are all uncovered with that ice and snow, as that can also cause some problems with the decreased visibility tonight. And make sure that your lights are on as well when the snow starts to fall. And most importantly, don't forget to have a winter survival kit. And I have a few of those items that you should include inside of that winter survival kit here. One important item is a flashlight. Now, it's also good to take some extra batteries in case you have to do any sort of vehicle maintenance, stuff like that. I also have a blanket. Worst case scenario, your car breaks down, you're gonna need a way to keep yourself warm, like this Icelandic wool blanket that I've got. In addition to that, it's good to have some water, some snacks, non-perishable snacks as well. Also a NOAA weather radio, of course a portable one, but a NOAA weather radio will give you those latest updates, as well as some medications. Any sort of necessary medications too are a good idea. So of course we'll have some additional coverage throughout the day here on Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 10. Jessica and Matt?
All right, it looks like you are very prepared, Scott. Good to see.
And Siouxlanders have been stocking up, hitting those stores in anticipation of today's winter storm. We'll bring you that full story after the break. You're watching Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And the countdown is on. Let's check in with Scott Larson, who's still sticking things out outside. What has changed, Scott, if anything?
Well, Jessica, not a whole lot has changed. It's still a cold, gray, and cloudy day. But a lot of folks are getting ready for that winter storm that's happening later on today. Our Stacy DeSilva brings us more.
There is a constant flow of musical parking spots, if you will, here at Hy-Vee as folks prepare for Thursday's winter storm. It's better to be safe than sorry. So shoppers took to the aisles to make sure their pantries don't go dry if and when the snow piles up.
It seems to be getting busy. There weren't very many carts up there, and there weren't very many parking spaces. It's starting to fill up.
And it wasn't just Hy-Vee. Fairway was nonstop busy, too. Managers there had almost double the normal amount of groceries delivered to prepare for the rush. Joey Laban is in charge of inventory at Buffalo Alice's on historic 4th Street. She ordered pizza dough a day early, pizza toppings 2 days early, and made sure her alcohol shelves were stacked, because this weekend could get a little crazy.
A lot of times you would think that people would like to stay inside, but sometimes it makes it more busy, so we're just making sure we have everything prepared.
Fearful of the storm, folks have been canceling reservations at Bev's on the river all week. Executive Chef Rick Beaulieu has had to organize everything a day early.
Our food purveyor out of Lincoln, Nebraska, has asked that we put our food orders in 24 hours early, so I had to do that today instead of Thursday. They're gearing up for a big storm down there.
Hopefully you're as ready for this as these folks are. In Sioux City, I'm Stacy DeSilva, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
And if you need any of those last-minute items, there's still a chance here before the snow gets started a little later this afternoon. But stay tuned to Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5, 6, and 10. We'll have continuous coverage. Fred, Matt, and I are going to be tracking this storm. And if you're out, make sure you download our app, too, as that has plenty of information as well. Back to you, Jess.
All right. Hey, thanks so much, Scott.
Now, live from KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 5.
What better way to find out what the roads are like than from our meteorologist, Scott Larson, who is out there next to a road. Scott, what's it look like out there?
Well, Fred, as that snow is beginning to stack up here in downtown Sioux City, those roads are definitely taking a turn for the worse. On Wednesday night, the snow and the ice was to blame for a fatal car accident, actually, that was in Giltner, Nebraska. We're seeing some of those conditions here. Over the police scanner, we've heard about numerous accidents around Sioux City this afternoon, and it sounds like police are really being stretched to cover all of those different accidents that are going on around the city. Snow is continuing to fall here downtown. Some gusty winds as well, anywhere from about 10 to 15 miles per hour, blowing that snow around and reducing those visibilities as well. And let's also take a look at that road conditions map. We do have snow and ice covered roads across much of the area, down I-29, the western part of I-80 also, and in addition to that, Highway 20, many of the highways also reporting snow and ice covered roads at this time. So if you're heading out tonight, here's a few tips and things that you should pack for a winter survival kit, as that is definitely a good thing to have in hand. Packing a winter survival kit for your car only takes minutes, but it can be very important. A few items you should include are a blanket. In the worst case scenario that your car breaks down, you need something to keep you warm. A flashlight with extra batteries. Food and bottled water are also good so that you have something to snack on in case you get stuck. Any essential medications should also be packed in the kit, along with a portable NOAA weather radio. This will help keep you informed on the latest weather developments. It's just a few items, but they can help to save your life. That's right, it just takes a few minutes to put all of those items together, but they can make a huge difference. And with the snowy weather that we're going to see lasting through the night, it's definitely a good idea to pack that up. Tim and Jenna?
Those common sense safety tips are very important here tonight. Meteorologist Scott Larson is brave. He's brave. He's braving the elements to tell us what we need to do to stay safe out there. Scott.
Well, whether you're headed out and shoveling the driveway or you're headed to the grocery store, of course, Fred, it's always important to stay safe during these very snowy and wintry conditions. I've seen some vehicles sliding here on the roads tonight. Now, if you are headed out tonight, make sure that you are taking all of your cold weather gear. That includes all of those hats and gloves. Just make sure that you're prepared, as we do have those very cold conditions here tonight, as well as the snow. If you are shoveling, don't overexert yourself either. Make sure that you're stretching before you try to clear the driveway, and take it slowly too. Take it in shifts if you have to. Also, stay in touch with elderly folks. Make sure that their cupboards are full and that they have the thermostat set to a comfortable level. It's always good to keep tabs with them. And tonight at 6, we'll continue to have more coverage of the winter storm here tonight, and we'll send it back to you, Tim and Jenna, in the studio.
Buildings are at a total loss in Laurel, Nebraska. I'll give the details as to what happened and what witnesses have to say tonight at 6.
The heavy snow is continuing to fall across Siouxland. We'll have continuing coverage tonight at 6.
Just keeps coming down out there.
Now, live from KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News at 6.
We've been talking about it for days, and finally, just before 3 o'clock today, the first snowflakes started to fall in Sioux City. Here's a look from then until now through our Hot Lotto camera on top of the Ho-Chunk Center as the snow starts to stack up.
Here's a look at that planner. Heavy snow this evening, gradually diminishing overnight and into early tomorrow, with temperatures falling into the upper teens. I've been showing you a lot of maps and graphics, but I want to send it over to meteorologist Scott Larson now. He is actually outside, and he can tell you exactly what it's like out there. Scott?
Well, Fred, as you can see on camera here, we have plenty of the wintry white stuff falling around. And also, I've seen here at the stoplights here around the city, folks are having a tough time getting up to speed. So as you're approaching those lights, make sure that you are being careful as well. But plenty of snow falling, just around 3 inches here in downtown Sioux City. So we are seeing plenty of snow. Just a bit of a breeze also now at this time. A little bit windy. It's sinking those wind chills, I'm sure, as well. Well, now that that snow is really starting to pile up, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, plenty of school closures and delays as well are starting to roll in. So just how do schools decide when to call off? And our Stacy Da Silva is standing by live in the newsroom. She brings us the story. Stacy?
Thanks, Scott.
Whether there are stormy conditions, whenever that happens, travel is usually not advised, but inevitably folks will hit the road.
If that's you, the Iowa State Patrol has some tips so you stay safe out there.
Scott Larson is standing by live in downtown Sioux City with the details. Scott?
Well, Jenna and Tim, so far this season, we haven't seen a whole lot in the way of snow. Of course, a huge difference today, but that makes some Iowa troopers pretty concerned when it comes to those road safety tips. And of course, they want to make sure that drivers are first and foremost wearing their seatbelts. And before they start the car, it's also a good idea to make sure that your headlights, taillights, and windshield are all cleared of the snow and ice. Troopers want folks to know that they will also have a presence throughout the area with your safety in mind.
The day shift is staying over, and then the night shift, of course. Those troopers obviously will be available up and down I-29 in the Siouxland area, plus the state highways.
And also give snowplows and emergency vehicles plenty of room out on the roads. Also, leave some space between yourself and the vehicle in front of you as well. And of course, don't forget that winter survival kit. And keep that in your car as well. Jenna and Tim?
All right, thanks, Scott. Good advice there from the trooper.
If you don't have to travel, just plain don't. Meteorologist Scott Larson is helping us continue our team coverage tonight. He is outside in Sioux City. Scott, how much snow do you think you have?
Well, thanks, Fred. We still have that heavy snow apparently still falling all around Sioux City. I'm here downtown at the intersection of 4th and Jones. Pretty much a ghost town down here as we still have that very heavy snow. Now, right here in downtown Sioux City, right around 3 to 3.5 inches of snow. However, we do have a lot of wind blowing this snow around. I've taken several measurements around the area. We do have some drifts up to about 8-9 inches actually, so about 5 inches of total accumulation, give or take, at this time. Still tons of snow out here, as well as a light breeze blowing that snow around as well. So the windy conditions, the visibilities, really it's a night to stay indoors. That's definitely the best option. If you can avoid going out, that's the best option, just to stay at home as we continue to have these wintry conditions here. It looks to last through the overnight as well. And with these conditions like this, with the visibility so low, it has made travel very difficult during this time. And Stacy Da Silva is on Douglas Street right outside our KCAU studio, and she has some details on what happened around the roads today. Stacy?
Scott, definitely some undesirable road conditions out there tonight. I faced them myself covering this story.
The snow is really piling up out there now, but that didn't stop some from braving the storm tonight.
There were a few out and about. Our Scott Larson joins us again. He's still standing by live on historic 4th Street. He caught up with some folks to get their reaction to the winter blast. Scott, what did they have to say?
Jenna and Tim, the snow quickly started coming down around 3 o'clock this afternoon, and folks that I spoke with said that we were in for a little bit of a taste of winter. The snow arrived quickly, falling heavily in Sioux City throughout the evening. But that didn't stop some folks from getting out. Dylan and Alex hit Starbucks for something to keep them warm in the frigid weather.
Just thought we'd go out for some hot chocolate and coffee, warm up the insides a little bit.
And the snow is definitely a dramatic change, but shoppers tonight say it's not all bad.
Nice to have a change. Didn't have too much snow all winter, and maybe the kids will be out playing tomorrow and have a good time. But, we don't need it to stay around forever, but a little while, we kind of missed it.
Now the snow is expected to last through the night as we go through our overnight here. Plenty of snow still expected to pile up, but our team coverage, it doesn't stop there. I'll be right back here on Channel 9 Eyewitness News this morning at 5 to give all the latest updates on this winter storm as it develops. Back to you, Jenna and Tim.
Hard-working guy getting out there in the cold for us. Thanks so much, Scott. And those people seem pretty happy that we had some snow. I don't think they're the only ones either.
I was going to say, I got to say, it's kind of exciting to have a little bit of the old white stuff back around.
Yeah.
Feels like winter.
And when we know it can't be around too long,
Yep,
because
that's
it is
right.
almost March.
And make sure you do check at the bottom of the screen for school cancellations tonight, business closings, events that have been postponed.
Yeah.